everyone, and welcome to this week's weekly haul. I was a bit more naughty this week, and so I have got 6 books to talk to you about. They're all NetGalley books, so it's not like I've spent money. I just got a bit overexcited about some books that I had the chance to review and went a bit crazy. So the first book is The Nowhere Child by Christian White. And this came out on the 22nd of January. This one, I'm a bit confused by. The description confused me in such a way where I was like, I need to read this. So this is an adult psychological thriller. And it says that a little girl went missing years ago. And that little girl is you. So I'm like, what do you mean that's me? It says a child was stolen 20 years ago. And it's all just a bit weird. I don't want to read too much of the description. I don't want to give anything away because names of people linked to it are mentioned. I just want to keep it on the down low until I actually read it, because I am hoping to read this in February. So you haven't got too long to wait to find out more about it, basically. But yeah, this one just caught my eye for that reason. I was like, what the heck? I need to check that out. Next we have The Quaker by Liam McIlvanney. This came out on the 28th of June last year. And this looks to be some sort of crime fiction. Again, I'm not really too sure. At the time I was well into it, but since then I've kind of forgot what it was. So it's set in Glasgow in 1969. And, oh, I remember this book now. So it's set in Glasgow in 1969 and it's about a serial killer. So I was thinking, ooh, maybe a bit like kind of tap into my Jack the Ripper obsession, but different city and different way of killing, no doubt. So the Quaker's taken 3 women from the same nightclub and brutally murdered them. So I was like, ooh, yes, I am very interested in this. But it is a crime kind of novel because you're looking at it from a detective's point of view and how they're going to be sort of trying to hunt the killer down, basically. And then another person gets murdered as well. So the police are up against it. They need to find this killer before who knows how many more women are murdered. And I just thought this had such kind of Jack the Ripper theme to it that I just had to give it a go. Next we have A Dangerous Act of Kindness by L.P. Fergusson. And this is being published on the 28th of March. And this one just looked a little bit different to the usual sort of things that I've been picking up. And I was like, I want to check this out. So this says, what would you risk for a complete stranger? And this is war fiction. I'm not sure which war, but basically a widow finds an injured enemy pilot and she's a bit torn on what to do. She's like, this guy's gonna get killed if he's found. Obviously part of her probably thinks that maybe the enemy should be killed, but then her humanity kind of kicks in a bit and she decides to take him in. Oh, never mind, it's World War II. I just saw in the description it's actually World War II. So yeah, I really enjoy World War II fiction. I've recently read The Boy Made of Snow by Chloe Meyer. That was set around World War II. And so I am really sort of feeling the World War II historical fiction direction this year. Next we have Disturbance by Marianne Cavanagh. And this comes out on the 21st of March. And this is a mystery thriller novel. And it's kind of a difficult one to explain. So you've got this woman who's a bit of a loner. She doesn't really get herself involved with anyone else in the local area, or even her husband, who's a workaholic, doesn't really talk to her an awful lot. Yet she somehow makes friends with a local kind of student. And then some sort of terrible accident happens and nothing's quite as it seems. So I'm like, you don't really get to learn an awful lot from that description at all. I can't wait to see what it's about though. I, again, will be trying to read this in February. Next we have Twisted by Steve Cavanagh, and this comes out on the 4th of April. I picked this up because this is the author of, I can't think of the name of the series, but I read the first book, The Defence, Eddie Flynn. I read the first book, The Defence, a few years ago when it came out, adored it. And then 13 came out last year, which was like the 3rd, maybe, somewhere on there, 4th, maybe, no, 3rd, but whatever, in the series, and that did really well, and I've not yet read that. And so when I saw that the author had got a new book out, I was like, I want to check this out. This isn't, from what I can tell, related to his other series at all. This is totally separate, and this is going a slightly different direction for him because he does like crime normally, whereas this is a mystery thriller novel. And I really like how the publishers with his books always seem to find ways of tagging, like doing like a list of 3 tags So this one, it tells you that before you read this book, you want to know 3 things. Number 1, the police are looking to charge me with murder. Number 2, no one knows who I am or how I did it. Number 3, if you think you've found me, I'm coming for you next. I can't wait to check this out. I'm going to love this, as I already know I love the author's writing, and it'll be nice to see something in a different direction from him. And the final book I have to show you this week is A Gift for Dying by M.J. Arlidge. And this is coming out on the 7th of March. Is it really any surprise that I've got yet another thriller in this haul, really? So this is about Adam Brandt, and he is a forensic psychologist. And he's used to dealing with, you know, quite damaged people and terrible situations. But then he meets someone who claims that when they look into your eyes, they can tell you when and how you will die. Yet a serial killer has now struck the city, and this person is able to... He starts to believe that maybe she can do this because she starts being able to tell him who's going to die next and where, and there's got to be a bigger twist than this, hasn't it? I'm really intrigued by this one. Can't wait to check it out. So as I said, that was the last book from this week's haul. Let me know if you're excited to pick any of these up, or whether you have also got review copies for them, or if you've already read them in some cases. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!